Hi guys, this is Brittany from Canadian Beats, and I'm on the line with Rob Moyer. How are you today?
Very, very well, Brittany. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, thanks for joining me. So it's just a couple questions for you, nice and easy. So you've
Cool.
toured all over the world. You've been to places like Japan, Australia, Europe. Where's your favorite place to tour?
I think to play music, I would say places like Germany or Switzerland are. It's really great to. It's really well organized for singer-songwriters. The audiences are very considerate, and they're very excited to have musicians play there. And so I would say, like, just as perform concerts, those areas I think are the best ever. As a traveler or someone that like just is excited about how many fantastic places there are on this planet. I mean, going to Japan is an incredible experience, or Ukraine. So I think like these exotic ones are very interesting. But I like the whole thing if I'm honest.
For sure. So when you're on tour, what's one thing that you have learned or remember being a really big thing for you in each continent that you've toured in?
I think that going to Australia, it seems isolated there, but that is such a massive place. And so I would say that, like, Australia, it reminds you just, like, it's very similar to Canada, in the fact that, like, you just can't believe it just goes on and on and on forever. Asia, it's kind of new for me. I mean, I've done, like, Singapore and Japan now, and, not that you can really consider those two places to be, a constant or anything, but I guess, like, some of those places that are truly exotic, like, it's amazing how much people there really, really love music, and even if you cannot communicate, like, whatsoever, there is this kind of, like, I don't know, universal sort of understanding of what's happening, and it's really, really great. Europe, I think I spend half the year in Europe at this point, and it almost feels like an extension of Canada. I mean, the great thing, and what I think about there, it's like there's so many people tucked into like a small space, and so it's truly appealing to kind of go over there, I guess. All these places, like, I think that the universal thing they all have is that I get to see all the good parts. I think as a musician, you're kind of only really around people that are sort of excited that you're there, I guess.
Okay. So with you, you're about to release your new album, solo album, and that has you jetting off back to Europe next week. So how many shows are you doing there, and when do you touch back in Canada?
I don't count them anymore, to be honest, because I used to. Well, I kind of count them at the end of the year just to see what I did, like, towards the year before, the year after. But it runs around like 200 a year, and so. I don't know what there is on this tour. Maybe there's like 30 shows or something like that. But I've kind of been doing this like back and forth thing for a while with Europe. Like all year, 2018 was kind of like go for like 3.5 weeks, come back for a month, go for like another month, come back for 5 weeks, like sort of back and forth. Most of the reason I spent over there is like my album is also released there, like commercially and properly. So it kind of makes sense to do a lot there as well. But I get back basically for a day, and then I go out to Quebec for about 5 shows in Quebec, and I come back, I think, December 23rd. So, yeah, that's pretty much right up until the end of the year.
Yeah, it's pushing you right up to Christmas.
Yeah, it's not always like that, but it just kind of made sense to have it like that.
Yeah. So you're releasing your new album. It comes out in Canada on November 12th, correct?
It's November 16th everywhere.
Okay, perfect. So how excited are you, and what is different about this album compared to albums that you've released before?
Yeah, I'm very, very excited because it takes a long time to put one of these things together. I mean, I think for this has been 3 years of, sort of writing songs, editing songs, throwing songs away, having your heart broken by other people that hear song X and say that this shouldn't be on an album, even though you thought it was the best song you ever wrote, like things like that. So there's many, many months of a process in that, and it takes a long time to kind of go through recording, and you start going through artwork, and you go through the planning period of it. But I would say this record is absolutely totally different than the two before it, in the sense that I grew up playing music in bands my whole life. I even though that I'm a solo artist, I kind of find that still a weird term. And so, all the albums I used to make, or made before this, I should say, like, were very much kind of with drummers in mind and with, other parts and a big full sound. And this is the one that I kind of said I felt like I had enough kind of confidence to kind of make an album that was a lot more just focused on, myself, voice guitar or voice instrument. And so I thought it was, calling it solo record to me just made me laugh. It was the only thing that got any title that got a reaction out of me that was kind of like something more, and I thought, let's just call it solo record. And so yeah, I don't know if that kind of makes sense of the history of it all and why that came to be.
No, it does. That's awesome. I'm so excited to hear it, for it to be released. But Rob, those were all the questions that I had for you today. I want to thank you so much for jumping on the phone with me and giving me a bit of your Saturday, and I hope you have a great rest of your day and a good tour.
Absolutely, Brittany. Thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, of course. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.